day a week. Don't worry about it so much. You'll be absolutely fine. You'll actually be better than fine because you'll simply be better. Dress a little worse on Wednesday. Try that. Worse dressed Wednesdays should be a thing. I'm starting that right now. So when that's a thing in 2023, you're going to be like, who started worse dressed Wednesdays? Brian Christopher Howie started worse dressed Wednesdays. Try that. Just let go of your control over what you believe to be your instinct. And your instinct is always to go pedal to the metal on one aspect of your life and your existence, and you believe that it'll cause you to lose focus on another aspect, or you can't do both. You can and you should. People are like, I'm good at this, or I feel comfortable with this. I'm going to go all in on that all the time, 24/7. Everything else suffers when you do that. So ease off the gas and be like, you know what? Fuck that for today. Let's do this instead. Let me just think, okay, I've got that part of my life. I've got that part of who I am. Let me work on this a little bit. And the things that will improve everything else, the fact that the other thing got a little bit worse, who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? You already perfected that. Or you got close to it. Or you believed you were heading towards it. Dial it back. Go from 11 to 10. Go from 10 to 9. Whatever it is. And I know you're probably thinking, I get what you're saying. I'm just not comfortable with your phrasing. I don't really think that doing less of something is doing worse. You know what? Neither do I. I don't. But it's about the mindset. It's always about the mindset. You know what you're good at. You want to spend as much time on that as possible because it makes you feel good. Great. I get that. We want to eat at that table where we excel all the time. We want to gobble up at the feast of excellence, and letting that slide even a hair, much less 10%, it kind of freaks you out. But you know what? Nobody will notice. You probably won't even notice. Even less than nobody will actually care, and that includes you. You really won't notice, and you really won't care, because if you can even identify what it is that you are maxed out at, you're more than likely beyond the healthy capacity of that anyway. It's taking too much time. It's taking too much energy. It's taking too much worry. It's just simply too much of it, all of it. So you need to back away from the wonderful. And let's head over to this other area of your world. Let's work on that. Let's add a little bit to that pile. You can always go back to your 8 days a week, focus on your abs. But you know what? You won't. You probably won't. You won't want to. When you take away from your excess, and you diversify your personality portfolio, which really is what you're doing here, you will become a much better catch, but because you will become a more balanced person. Just like we said back at the beginning, all this self-love, self-help, self-improvement slice of the big woo-woo world, that's all wonderful because it's all really about finding balance. Too much of something is a bad thing. So get worse. Start getting worse at that one thing, or maybe even a couple things. Just make it less. Dial it down. Does this make sense? I think it makes sense. I can't make myself shorter. And if you are one of those obsessed with a guy's height or someone's weight, you really are already doing plenty worse. So knock it off. I can't make myself dumber, so to speak. A lot of people try to make themselves dumber by a lot of things, but you're probably not going to make yourself dumber. You can't make any of these things that you can't control a little less or a little worse. So I'm sorry if I'm saying shorter is worse. I don't mean that. Don't blame the messenger, but let's stick to the message. You can make yourself less good, a tad less proficient at something you can control. You know, the things you control, and like, you know what, I'm just going to not care so much about that today, because this isn't about achieving excellence at anything. It's about finding happiness. Am I this because I do that, but I could be doing this, and wouldn't that be great? It would. It would. You can juggle 6 golf balls, and you've worked a long time to be able to juggle 6 golf balls. Awesome. Juggle 5. Just start juggling 5 instead of 6. Relax a bit. Go make a better omelet. Go for a walk. Spend a little time meditating. Or do something, anything besides the one thing that you are so good at and that you've been so focused on. Because focusing on one thing so much, so often, so intensely, it means you're missing out on a lot of things. You're missing out on the right things, the things that really matter. So get up, get out, and go get worse. So, as I said earlier, we are back on the road. So go to greatlovedebate.com. The website's a little wonky, but it should be fixed by the time you listen to this podcast. Go to greatlovedebate.com and you will check out the previously referred to live shows, including August 9th in New York City, back in the Big Apple. I'm not always crazy to go back into New York. I'm from New York, as you know. Pros and cons to going back there. But the shows are always unbelievable because we get a big, fun, feisty crowd. August 9th at City Winery, New York City. Boston, Dallas, a bunch of others on the show. Check that out. Shoot me an email, greatlovedebate@gmail.com. I want to know what you could do worse, because you could do worse. So tell me what you could do worse, and it would actually improve the greater scheme of things. And as always, one more time, please review, share, like this podcast. Your reviews really do mean a lot, and they really are appreciated. I don't know why they mean so much. I don't know why the podcasting world, platform, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, all the rest, why they really care so much about your reviews, but they do, and I do too, because your feedback means a lot, and all your 5 stars mean a lot to us. Because as always, at The Great Love Debate, we never stop making love. See you next time.